Thank you, Chairman, and thanks, gentlemen, for your presentation today. The only probably consistent thing when you navigate your way through this current process is that nothing is guaranteed or nothing is tangible in relation to this process. The only consistent thing is that there are indeed many threats to the very hard negotiated, hard fought for and hard won arrangements that we have agreed on this island and between the both islands, and obviously that is very really under threat at the moment. But I have a couple of points. I first of all wanted to endorse fully Michael Farrell's point around new communities and ethnic minority people who have made their homes in the north and their right to Irish citizenship and avail of Irish citizenship, particularly if they are rearing their families here and contributing to life and indeed peace building on the island as well. So that's actually I think a positive move that the Irish government could take unilaterally, or even part of the negotiations around amending the Irish Nationality and Citizenship Act. So I think that's something that this committee and indeed these houses should consider in terms of lobbying with the government, and it would be useful to hear maybe a broader concert start to emerge around that issue as well. In terms of Professor Harvey, you outlined a whole raft, if you don't mind me saying there, of potential implications and threats and undermining of the arrangements that exist through Europe, but also through the bespoke arrangements of the Good Friday Agreement. I have this question that's been kind of floating around for a while, and I've asked it of other contributors to this committee, and to be fair, maybe they don't have the answer, and maybe there isn't an answer, but the European Parliament's Constitutional Affairs Committee recently published a report, and if you haven't seen that, I can furnish you with the details, where they said that the Good Friday Agreement would be altered as a result of Brexit. And that's the term that they use. The Good Friday Agreement would be altered as a result of Brexit. Now, I wonder about the legal status of that, the legal implications of that, in terms of the British government acting unilaterally around Brexit, which would then see the alteration of the Good Friday Agreement, which, as we all know and has been said here today, is an agreement between both governments. They're both co-guarantors, but specifically, can a referendum on Brexit usurp or undermine or take precedence over the referendum that took place in this state in 1988 to endorse the Good Friday Agreement, and indeed, obviously, when you get into the politics of the vote that existed in the EU referendum in the north and a desire to remain in the EU. So I appreciate that might be quite a new or even an unfair question, but I just wonder what your view would be on that. And finally, Chair, there is an issue there in terms of, it was touched upon, the mechanisms of accountability, and I'm wondering, particularly given that we're facing into a fairly significant and major summit in regard to Brexit at the weekend, what accountability mechanisms are open to the Irish government in your view around protecting the status and the primacy of the Good Friday Agreement in this regard? So, Sinead.